Greetings, dear viewers, and welcome back. Today we've got lots of good counsel and guidance for Harry and Meghan, but will they pay attention? All kinds of specialists and pundits are advising the Sussexes on what they ought to try differently this year. However, will Harry and Meghan tune into any of this sage advice, or will they just keep on with the same old tricks, further demolishing their reputations? Sometimes I picture Harry and Meghan sitting around thinking, wow, we just can't seem to do anything right, can we? And sometimes I must agree, it truly appears that way. But the issue is, that may be the truth. I mean, it really does look like everything they attempt absolutely fails. And whenever they try to make themselves appear better, they only seem worse. It does look like they finally realized that overexposure was a massive problem for them. We haven't heard much from them lately, which is unusual for this pair. So either they're trying to lay low and hope we forget all about their antics and are willing to provide a second chance, or could something else be happening secretly that they don't want us to know about? Personally, I suspect the marriage between Meghan and Harry is finished, and they're just biding time until announcing the divorce. But there are also reports alleging Harry and Meghan are gearing up for some kind of reboot where they'll try to reinvent themselves and return more powerful than ever. Will it work if that's genuinely happening? Absolutely not. But it's never prevented them from trying before, has it? One thing is pretty evident, however. Harry and Meghan can no longer make a living trashing the royal family. They'll have to develop something else, something more positive and meaningful. Their brand so far has been extraordinarily toxic, and people are turned off now. Folks aren't interested in the negativity anymore, understandably so. We've got enough troubles in this world already. I think public figures who claim to entertain or inspire us, as Harry and Meghan have asserted they would do, have a duty to do precisely that. I mean, we're inhabiting very stressful times. We need a break from it all, something uplifting to get excited about and feel hopeful about. The issue, however, as I see it, is that Harry and Meghan have nothing worthwhile to offer. So experts have been weighing in, advising Harry and Meghan on what they ought and ought not do. I think everyone concurs that Harry and Meghan certainly need to reconcile with the royal family, if that's even possible now. If you ask me, plenty of people say there's no way the family will ever pardon Meghan. Harry may have a path back in, but I think he'll have to ditch Meghan first. As stated in Express Online, royal commentator Michael Cole recently weighed in on this situation. He spoke with GB News, asserting that Harry and Meghan really need to come out of a new box because last year was full of criticism, relentlessly and repetitively, of their own family, end quote. I believe Michael Cole is making a very significant point, that the real question is, will Harry and Meghan listen? Will they heed this sound recommendation? Or will they persist trying to make money by any means, even if it includes further trashing Harry's family? Michael Cole was also truly bothered by Harry attempting to guilt-trip his father over Frogmore Cottage last year, basically telling King Charles, "Oh, so you never want to see your grandchildren again?" And I concur, that was a really underhanded way to handle that circumstance. And again, do we even know for certain that the grandchildren exist? Mr. Cole has called it, quote, a great tragedy that the king never gets to see Prince Archie or Princess Lilibet, end quote. And I agree, assuming the children are genuinely real. If Archie and Lilibet are real people, I do feel bad for them because they're essentially living like kids of divorced parents, even if Harry and Meghan are still together. They're caught in the middle of this family feud, and I just hate that. That is the one thing that troubles me perhaps most, when children are utilized as pawns in some kind of game played by quarreling adults. How low can you go? I know Harry and Meghan believe they're punishing the king by not permitting him to see Archie or Lilibet, but the people really missing out even more than the king are the children themselves. Again, assuming they even exist. By all accounts, the king absolutely is a loving grandfather. He adores spending time with George, Charlotte, and little Louis too. He dotes on them. You can see he just loves them. He cherishes time with them. But Harry and Meghan don't seem interested in giving their alleged children that kind of bond with their own grandfather, which is an absolute shame in my opinion. I still remember the special time I got to spend with my grandmother when I was a little girl. And now as a granny myself, I must say there was something so exceptional about the relationship between grandparent and grandchild. I mean, we can let them get away with things their parents never would. And we can really just lavish them with love and affection in a way maybe we couldn't with our own children. Maybe with our own kids we were too busy and distracted. With our grandkids though, we get a second chance. And I think that's how King Charles feels too, especially after Harry accused him of being such a cold, distant father. I'm sure he would truly appreciate an opportunity to make amends. And I know Harry has said some terrible things about his dad. But at the same time, he needs to recognize King Charles won't be around forever. Harry really ought to spend time with him while he's got the chance. I don't believe King Charles will be around as long as his mother was. I don't think he'll reign as long as the Queen did. I mean, maybe I'm wrong and I hope I am. But the Queen was in excellent health and she was a very, very special person. I don't think the King's health is quite as good as hers was at his age. And of course, men generally don't live as long as women do. So in all likelihood, Harry won't have decades to make peace with his father. He's got to get to it pronto. Michael Cole also believes King Charles is trying to be a really good grandfather because he shows the affection to his family that maybe he didn't get himself as a child. And we've seen that. We have witnessed the king be so loving with his grandkids. We saw him hug Louis in that clip after Harry claimed he never gives hugs. Obviously that wasn't factual. Okay, to be fair to Harry, perhaps when he was little it was true. Maybe back then King Charles wasn't so in touch with his emotions yet. But clearly something has changed in that arena. Clearly now he's not afraid to demonstrate the love he feels. I remember seeing it happen with my own father too. I recall when I was a young girl, my dad was a bit, I don't know, stern, I guess I could say. He wasn't really the mushy type. He didn't express affection much. He was a bit distant from all of us, and mostly when he interacted with us kids, it was to yell at us or say we were doing something incorrectly. But then as he aged and I had children of my own and he became a grandpa, he revealed a whole different side of himself to me. And our relationship became so much stronger. Harry could have that right now if only he would just apologize, admit that he and Meghan have made some big mistakes, and own up that he was wrong. And I believe he would be forgiven by his family then. Maybe not by William, but sometimes that's just how it goes. However, I do think that the king was serious when he said the door will always be open to Harry. I believe that at this point, it doesn't matter. King Charles loves his son regardless of what he's done. He understands that Harry has been brainwashed by Meghan Markle. And I think if Harry can take the right steps, divorce Meghan, move home, and apologize for everything, there is still hope for him to reunite with his family. The first move, though, will have to be removing Meghan Markle from the equation. Because remember, Meghan doesn't believe in family. She doesn't care about family. Just examine what she's done to her own family. She cut off her father who cared for her all her life. The only family she still communicates with is her mother Doria, who abandoned her as a child anyway. I'm not really sure why Doria gets a pass when her dad doesn't, but I guess Doria taught her all her grifting tricks, so she's got to be grateful for that. Mr. Cole said, "We have a situation where Meghan is hardly on speaking terms with any member of her family apart from her mother and one niece." And I concur. This is something we need to pay attention to. It's a big red flag demonstrating that Meghan Markle is a very troubled individual. So in summary, he suggests Harry and Meghan need to come out of a new box, but doesn't specify what exactly he means. Yet plenty of people currently are telling Harry and Meghan the same thing. They've got to stop what they're doing and find a new way forward, a new way to make money and live. And only then is redemption even a possibility for them. And even then, it's just a hope. What about you? If you could offer Harry and Meghan a few words of counsel, what would you tell them? Please let me know your thoughts below in the comments. As always, if you enjoyed this video, don't hesitate to like and share it with anyone else who would appreciate it too. If you haven't already, please click that subscribe button so you don't miss any updates. Thank you so very much for watching today. I appreciate you spending time with me. If you have a free moment, please help by heading over to the King Charles channel to report them again for stealing content. Have a wonderful first day of 2024. I wish you a very happy, healthy, and prosperous new year full of joy. Looking forward to seeing you in the next video. Take good care until then.